Michael, Shawn, and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this woman right here is a pioneer, is a gangster, and hilarious. Somebody, like y'all been trying to, this whole thing chasing the bag that y'all have created. No, the bag comes to her. She had a in Las Vegas, kills it. I think it's the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club that she had a stint at. She may be rocking right now. Please put your hands together. I feel like I'm on stage right now. Luenell. Luenell! Oh, my God.
Good morning.
I love you.
Do I need to be sideways?
No, you're good right now.
Okay. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good
morning.
Good morning.
Luenell, first of all, I know, I follow you so heavy. I know you've gone through surgeries and you've done
Two surgeries.
It was a knee situation, correct?
Both knees.
Both knees.
Everything in between the knees is amazing, though.
That's where we going? All right.
No, should I go like this? Oh, I can't do that. Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
I stay how I am.
You can try it. It looked like you sideways. You might have made it wider. You can try it. Go ahead, turn it. Let's see what
Go
happens.
ahead, try it. Go ahead, Luenell. We got time. Don't worry about it. We good.
Yeah, we got a wider shot. There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Hold on. Let me put it back in my little. Hold on for me.
Go
I
ahead.
got a little thingy here that I can put.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Luenell. If you're on my Instagram live right now, download Free Agent Radio, the app, or Media Room 360 to watch it.
Let me go and let her get this.
We just got Luenell don't give up. She don't care. Go. Fix it.
Let me fix it.
Go ahead. Fix it, Luenell. Fix it.
The realness of the last minute nature. Here we go.
All right. First of all, after everything that you've gone on with your surgeries, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Actually, I'm in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm at my big sister's house.
You're like 10 minutes from me right now.
Really?
Yeah.
You're in Texas?
Yes. I'm in the Arlington area. I'm really like 10 minutes away from you.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, look how God works in mysterious ways, don't he?
God.
Okay.
I got this.
So I'm at my sister's and oh shit. Wait. Oh no.
Oh, man.
What did I do?
Fade to black. Fade to black.
Oh no.
This is our promo right here. This is our promo.
Right?
I can hear you. This is our promo right here.
We hear all the curses.
We hear everything. Excuse us, sponsors. He said, "What did I do?"
Wait a minute, guys.
All right,
Okay, we got you. We're gonna be patient.
I'm gonna take her down for a little bit and let her work that out. I'm gonna take her down for a second.
Okay.
Oh, she got it back that quick.
She got it back.
She's back. All right.
Put it back up.
No, she's not ready yet. It's still
premature ejaculation right there with Jay Black. Just take it off.
Yeah. No, I ain't. She's getting her stuff together. So
but it's beautiful. It's the rawness. I love it. It's the rawness of having her on there. Yeah.
Guys, let me log back in. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
This is amazing.
Click me out.
All right.
So far on this huge morning show.
Massive.
In my IG live.
Shawnee, drop it completely.
We've had Bill Bellamy, Rodney Perry, and we're about to have Luenell. We've had Talent the comedian, DJ Cool, legendary DJ Cool.
Noise in this joint.
What? Y'all better spread the word right now. Y'all are looking at us on the takeover on the infant stage of taking everything over. And the fact that we will have Luenell on here is amazing. And what is there something else we were trying to go into, Jay? Was there something else we're trying to go into? Because
I'm back.
She said, "I'm back."
Luenell is back. Luenell is back.
When I messed up a minute ago, you were asking me about my knee surgery. I am in Fort Worth, Texas. I came in October and I stayed for 2 months. I came back in March and I have my last physical therapy appointment today. I'm going back to LA on Tuesday. I had total knee reconstruction on both knees. It's
Wow.
the best thing I could have done for myself because living in pain every day can make you consider suicide, can make you, it was that bad.
No, real talk. Yeah.
And but I luckily, I have, medical insurance through the Screen Actors Guild because I'm a boss. And
Let's go.
Talk it.
Let's go. Let's take that microphone. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Tell them.
luckily for me, I was able to do both knees during the, Corona lockdown. My sister is a nurse, so she has literally brought me back to myself. I go home Tuesday and I start going on the road in 2 weeks. I think my first date is in Tempe, Arizona. Then I do Huntington Beach in Los Angeles, California. And then I'm out to Atlanta and blah, blah, blah. And I'm filming and I'm doing a bunch of stuff. So I'm back to work. Bam, bam, bam.
Yes, that's
So
good.
now I always wanted to ask you this question because as comedians, there's like an insecurity that we all have. Everybody has some type of insecurity. Your boldness, I've always admired because no matter what situation you're in, you're always the same person. What is it that makes you so fearless? Like whenever you do a show, I don't care who else is on the show. You could care less. It's like Luenell becomes Luenell. Like, okay, one example. I was just your feature act at a comedy show at the Improv. And after we were done, you're like, you know what, Mike? Come on stage. We're going to take some questions. And I want them to ask you questions too. And I was kind of like shy, like, well, why? But what is it? How did you become so effing fearless? Like, you don't care. And I know you do care, but how do you present yourself in that way?
Well, I think my fearlessness might come from several different areas. Number one, I'm the eighth of 8 children, so I'm the baby.
Right.
And, fighting for attention and all this kind of stuff can make you find your voice, or else in a big family, you better find your voice or you're going to get lost. You know what I'm saying? Lost in the sauce. Number two, I was born in Arkansas, but I was raised in Oakland, California, and I live in the Crenshaw district now. I don't live in Beverly Hills. I don't live in Marina Del Rey. I live right, 3 blocks from where Nipsey was murdered. And I'm just that type of chick, I don't know. I found my voice early, and I've just been a person for the people. I really don't play games, and I'm not into all that corporate crap. They either want me or they don't. And I have mentors like Paul Mooney and Cat Williams and George Wallace and Dick Gregory. And so I'm not following behind anybody weak. I just came up through the ranks of hardcore people. And, living from Oakland, women from Oakland. I mean, look at Keisha Cole. She rarely even smiles, She's we're kind of hard,
Yes. Yes.
We're kind of hard like that. But, anybody that knows me knows that as hard as I can be and as confident as I am, I love the same way. I met Mike Shawn. I loved his comedy. I loved his energy. I respected him. Do we talk every day? No. Do we even text or Instagram every day? No. But when I see him, I'm there. He said, come on. I'm like, now. So
love.
In this journey in comedy and being in the business, what was the first break? The first break that you got where you were like, okay, this is it. This is the first break. And then my second question is, when did you feel like I'm here? I arrived. So the first thing is like, when did you get your first break and who gave it to you?
I think, well, first of all, the first day I ever did stand-up comedy, the very first day that I ever did stand-up comedy in a little club in Long Beach called Miss there anymore. The very first day I did stand-up, I met the late great Robin Harris. I felt like that was like an omen.
Wow.
And then I'd say my first big break was when they started BET's Comic View. I never did Def Jam. People introduced you've seen her bubble, you've seen her bubble, and she on Def Def. I've never done Def Jam. I wish I had, but I never got a chance to do Def Jam. But I did do Comic View for 9 seasons in a row. And that BET Comic View and HBO Def Comedy Jam were the first television shows to showcase Black comedians, period. There was no other showcase television show before those two came out. So Black people had never got national television recognition until those two shows. HBO Def Comedy Jam being raw and uncut, BET Comic View being edgy but not as raw and not as uncut. If you're a professional comedian, you can do both. You can do a strip club or you can do a church if you are a professional.
You're absolutely right. What was the first movie set you were ever on, Luenell? We're speaking to Luenell, legendary comedian, doing her thing. She's going back on tour, so make sure you go to her Instagram page and follow everything that she's doing to make sure you check her out when she comes to your city. What was the first movie set you were on?
It was in San Francisco. The movie was called So I Married an Axe Murderer. I wasn't even blonde yet, and it was Mike Myers' first film before he ever started the Austin Powers series. So that was the first movie I ever did.
How were the auditions for that? Like, how were the auditions? Because you're a different type of person. You're not, when you come in different. Like,
well, it's really, we're talking 20 something years ago. That movie was 25 years old, 26 years old. And I was actually, because, I did theater before I ever did stand-up comedy. So I never really had the stage fright thing because I had already been through theater.
Right.
And my friend, actually, I was at a play watching my friend rehearse, and his agent called him and told him if he could get to an audition right now, that he could audition for part of this cop in this movie, So I Married an Axe Murderer. But he couldn't go because he was in rehearsal. This is way back. This would never happen now. But he asked his agent, he said, I got a friend here. Can I send her? And the agent said, yeah, I just got this slot. Send anybody. Somebody got audition, And I went to the audition and I got it. I only had to audition once. And it wasn't a big role. I wasn't in the union. So, when you're in the union and you do a film, after you do it, they ask you to come back again and like clear your, redo your lines sometime. It's called ADR. You have to go back and do ADR for a film and like redo your lines. If they were low, they want you to maybe say it again louder, or they may want you to change your dams to dime so the movie can go to airline or to network.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
When you finish the film, you got to go back and do the voice stuff. And so I wasn't in the union yet. It was my first film. So they didn't have to call me to do the ADR. They got anybody to do it. And so when you see the film, it's me, but it's a white lady's voice coming out of my But soon after that, I did. Well, the agent that I went to the audition for, that was really my friends, then picked me up, and I had an audition for the movie that I'm sure all you guys have seen before. It's called The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicholas
Yes.
Cage.
Yes.
So that movie, they just wanted somebody to improv something, and that is the movie. When you do your first major motion picture, you get waived from having to join the union. It's called the Taft-Hartley law, and they Taft-Hartley you, and you don't have to join the union. If you get in a second major motion picture with speaking lines, because I've never been an extra. Sorry.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
But when you get in your second film, if you have a speaking role, if you're in your second film, now you're what they call a must join. Now you must join the union, and you have to do it. That's how you get in. If and you have to pay a very large fee. I think back then in '95, I had to pay something like $1,856 to get in the union, and I had to join the union before I could actually step on the set Monday morning for The Rock. So I went to some people, got some money, you know, checked some traps and all that, and was able to go to the union and pay my money. If they didn't do it like that, every trap hoe in America would be in the union. They would just pay.
I hate you.
And you guys saw The Rock, right?
Yes.
So you remember when the tourists were taken hostage and put into the cells?
Mm-hmm.
Remember early in the movie, the dudes took the hostages. Because the tourists were walking through Alcatraz,
Right.
and then the guys took the hostages and put them in the cell. And I was in the cell with the actual tour guide, and I was like, "Get us out of here! You're the tour guide." And he's like, "I can't get us out of here." I said, "Well, use your gun." And he said, "I don't have a gun." I said, "If I was in this," I said, "if I'd have known this was going to happen, I'd have brought my own something gun." And that was all improv. So, you know, that movie is still popular, you know,
Yes,
25 years later.
Now, Luenell, was speaking to Luenell, amazing. It's such an honor to actually have her on here, take time out to do this. A lot of people have you in their favorite comedians ever. Who are your favorite comedians? Like, who are your, like, I hate to always do the top 5 because top 5 is very hard because there's a lot of comedians that deserve to be in the top 5. But if you had your top 5 or your favorite, let me exclude the 5. Your favorite comedians that you can watch over and over again that not only make you laugh, but maybe some of them influenced you. Who would they be?
Paul Mooney, Richard Pryor, Cat Williams, Joan Rivers, Roseanne Barr.
I love your list. See, Jay Black, and I want you to scold Jay Black. I want you to talk to Jay. Jay Black is very stubborn on allowing himself to watch anything that he's not familiar with. So, like a Joan Rivers. Jay Black, do you know who Joan Rivers is?
I know. Before we go to the Joan Rivers, you said Roseanne Barr, interesting, even with all the racial aspects. Like, what was your thoughts on that? Remember, she had that racial issue going on, and she's still in your top 5?
Well, just like, yeah, but I can separate your bullshit from your comedy. That's like saying I don't want to see the Cosby Show no more because of what Bill did. If you did classic work, that have nothing to do with this bullshit that's happening now. You can't take somebody's classic work that they've done for 20 years and because they have an issue and they go nuts later, you know, that doesn't discount the work they did. I watched the Cosby Show last night. Bill is in prison. I'll watch Roseanne stand up or the Roseanne show, Roseanne, and she's like been canceled. You know, people are still listening to R. Kelly music, and you know what he did. So I can separate the art from the person.
Nice.
No, and I think that's 1,000% correct because I've had this fight all the time. But I try and get Jay Black to understand that there's different comedians and there's different stuff you can be open to. Joan Rivers is one of my favorite comedians. Like my parents, when my parents went to Las Vegas, they literally went to go see Joan Rivers.
Jay Black, do you know who she is?
Of course, I know who Joan
No,
Rivers is.
he don't because she's not black.
But
let
me make a statement. I want you guys to really hear me and think about this. If you were to go out in the street and if you were to poll 25 people and say, who are your top 5 comics, whether you talk to a male or a female, they would name 5 men.
Mm.
They would never say, "Oh, I just love Wanda Sykes or Monique or Whoopi Goldberg," back when they were doing comic relief or
Some
anything like
more.
that. They wouldn't say women because even though women are prevalent in comedy, we're the afterthought always. Because if you were to say, "Well, what about Joan Rivers?" They go, "Oh yeah, 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 I love Joan Rivers." Why you didn't say it? If you love Wanda Sykes, well, I love Wanda Sykes. I meant to say one. Well, you didn't put her in your top 5. Even me, people they'd be like, "How you like Luenell?" "Oh, that's my girl." Well, why you didn't say it? Because women are always an afterthought. We're always the, "Oh yeah, that's right."
You're right. You're right. And even when we talk about hip hop and we talk about rappers, it's always like, who the top female rappers? I'm like, wait a second. I know female rappers that just are in the top 5 of female, can be in the top 10 of rappers, period.
Yeah, people wouldn't say Missy Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
Yet Missy Elliott has outgrossed millions of rap men by writing a song, owning her masters, producing other artists, stuff like that. People wouldn't say Little Kim. "Oh, she looks weird now." What the hell has that got to do with the shit that she was laying down back when Biggie and everybody was out and being with Bad Boy early in the day? I have a very strong urge all the time whenever I get on the platform to make people think, think. And I can't even say stop putting us in another category because it's always going to happen. It's a man's world. James Brown said that. And it's the truth, But I don't feel no type of way when they go, "Don't you want to be just known as a comedian and not a female comedian?" I am a female comedian. I'm going to always be a female comedian. I'm in a boys' game, but I'm always going to be a female comedian. So if I'm the best female comic that then you can say that. And, you asked me for the top 5, and I purposely included 2 females because women get forgotten in this business. And I'm sure that I can outsell, 90% of the females in the game. I could almost say 99.
Right. Talk it. I love it.
Luenell, real quick, because we have a few rules because we're in a few places. I don't mind the cursing, but
I didn't say nothing but the S word.
No. I just wanted to put it because I know Cam's giving me the ice grill. He's like,
sponsors.
Before I got on. I heard you before I got on. I heard you before I got on. I know what to do.
But the crazy thing is, you have adapted to social media better than most. And this is not your generation. It's not my generation. Who was it? Just you that jumped on and said, "I got to take advantage of social media," or was it somebody advising you? Or was that all just you?
Well, my Instagram followers, the 850,000 that I have.
And one, I just followed you. And one.
Thank you, honey. The 851,000 followers that I have, I don't know where they came from. I didn't buy them or do any of that. I didn't do skits. I don't add music. I don't have special effects. I don't do all that. I'm just me. And I think that maybe in the generation of all this, media coming at you and all this TikToks and everything like that, it's like really a plot to get your attention span to only be like 5 seconds. That is why we now have difficulty watching a movie without the phone in our hand. We have difficulty doing that unless we actually go to the movies, and people even then sometimes still have the phone in the hand because this is a plot to get into your mind to make your attention span small. And it has really worked on the young folk because if you can add a 1-minute video on Instagram, you can add a 5-second one on Reels or on TikTok. And now your attention span has got shorter and shorter and shorter. You see? As far as doing my YouTube show, Flame Monroe was the one who said, hey girl, you sitting at home, we in this corona, you ought to do a YouTube show. I was like, I don't know, I'm not into the YouTube show thing, but I tried it, and within under a year, I mean, very quickly, I had like 45,000 subscribers. I would love to have 100,000 subscribers, but it's not how many subscribers you have, it's how many views you get that gets you paid on YouTube. I found that out. So I'm just doing my thing. Right now I'm in my sister's office in Texas, but I have a studio at home in LA, and I also have a studio in Sherman Oaks. So, I'm able to broadcast wherever I am, and I just make do. Yeah, I've been broadcasting from my sister's bathroom for the last 2 months. Because I was out there having that surgery, and so she got a bathroom that got good light and got things. So I've been broadcasting.
That's all it needs. Good lighting. Good lighting. That's all we need.
Like the lighting is terrible in here. I need to look like this, but I don't look like this. And the show is called Hey Luenell, HeyLuenell, and you can watch it on YouTube. I just did my last one from Texas last night because I go back to LA on Tuesday with both knees done and praising the Lord and ready to go back to work, fully vaccinated. It wasn't my choice. My sister's a nurse. She made the appointment, put me in the car, and damn near held my arm for me. But I figure I didn't want to get it for all the obvious reasons that Black people and urban people do not want to get it, because we don't trust the government. There's not even nowhere in the history of the world where the government has ever gave a damn about Black people or brown people's health. So of course I didn't want to get it. But when the white folks started getting it and, everything like that, and when they threatened to not let us travel internationally if we did not get the shot, I went ahead on with my sister's suggestion. Now, if my teeth fall out or one of my breasts falls on the floor in a year, we'll see what really happened. But I trust in the good Lord up above, and I got vaccinated at Ebenezer Baptist Church, not in the CVS parking lot. So they probably put holy water in my vaccination. So I'm taking that as
you got vaccinated and baptized. All right, Luenell, I'm gonna say a word. You tell me your thoughts. White women.
Had enough.
Okay. Hollywood.
Necessary.
Drugs.
Had enough.
I don't even know if you
count weed. Don't count weed.
No, don't count weed. No, weed is on the books. Weed is on the books. Okay. I don't even know.
Necessary. Weed is necessary.
I don't know if you watched the show. I don't know if you watched the show, but I'm obsessed with it. Snowfall.
Neighborhood. That's filmed in my neighborhood.
Lies.
Can't stand lies. Hate them. I can't do one word, but I hate lies.
No, you don't have to do one word. Just go. Lies.
I can't tolerate lies.
Regrets.
Cocaine.
Oh wow. Okay. Things in the future.
But actually, I have 3 regrets. Okay.
Well, go expand. You don't have to do one word. Regrets.
Okay. I hate that I ever touched cocaine because I wasted a lot of time tweaking. I hate that I missed my daughter's first Halloween and Thanksgiving because I was incarcerated. I hate that I never got to go to Studio 54. I regret that. And I regret that I never met Tupac.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, because I was in Oakland and I know everybody else in Digital Underground. Shock G's funeral is going to be live streamed Sunday from the church in Tampa. I just talked to Money B yesterday. And, I also was blessed to make a movie with DMX. It was called Never Die Alone.
Yep.
And I have been in a car with him. I have rode 100 miles an hour down Wilshire Boulevard. I know the Rough Rider experience. I've been in the studio with DMX, and I was lucky to get him at a wonderful time in his career during the cradle to the grave, belly, right in that era. DMX was a wonderful guy when I was with him, and more recently, people are knowing the prophet that DMX is. It's not, and just like with Nipsey and X, they're two different type of prophets. Nipsey was not a prophet who prayed publicly like that, but he tried to instill seeds of wisdom in the community about owning your own, building your own. Let's do our own thing. Don't work for somebody, work for yourself. And X is the only rapper that I know in the history of rap who prayed openly on his albums, openly in the street, openly in interviews, openly on Instagram lives, openly prayed all the time. He was raised a Jehovah's Witness. People don't know that. But that's when he learned to love the Lord. And, DMX, his home, his funeral that was live streamed from the Barclays Center started with his own voice praying over his own casket. If you saw it, it was one of the most moving things I've ever seen in my life. And as crazy as they say Kanye is, Kanye paid for that whole setup and had his choir, which damn near outsang the Mississippi Mass Choir. And if you know anything about church, the Mississippi Mass Choir.
Yes.
I do have a few regrets, but I don't regret much these days. You know what I'm saying?
I always have this problem when people are shouting out their haters. Like, this goes out to all my haters, and I do this because all you haters. I always want to know. I ask people, who are the people that were kind to you? That were kind. That literally you go back and you if you have some.
She's thinking.
People,
I see it.
Yeah, I mean, Sinbad has been very kind to me. Kat has been extremely kind to me, more than you guys will ever know. Eddie has been very kind to me. Charlie Murphy was very kind to me. Roseanne, before she lost it, I was about to be on her show, actually, right when the new show was starting, 20 years later. And I don't know if any of you all saw it because you probably don't watch things that females do.
No, I saw it. I actually still watch it now. I actually still watch it now without her on it. Yeah.
Oh, you watch the Connors. Okay. Well, there's a black grandchild, right?
Yes.
Yep.
There's a black grandchild. So the second season, I was going to be the black grandchild's grandmother. But of course, we never got to the second season with Roseanne, and the Connors went on, and that opportunity I was not able to take advantage of. But George Wallace has been very kind to me. Eddie Griffin has been very kind to me. Laura Hayes has been very, very, very kind to me. So there's lots of people that I can say have helped me behind the scenes, were there for me when I needed folks, when I was, in jail and when I had my baby. And my manager, best friend, William Hanford Lee Jr., Papa Lee on Instagram. He's been my manager for like 15 years when everybody was telling him, you don't want to manage her. She's a loose cannon. She fights chicks in clubs and da. And he said, yes, she's all that, but she's still the funniest woman I've ever met, and I'm going to ride with her. We've been together for over 15 years now. He's been managing me, and for about 25, he's been my best friend.
Loyalty.
I really don't want to hold you, but I
ain't got nothing to do with stuff.
Okay.
Oh, good. We got
okay. All right. Cool. Okay. So, I've woken up in jail a few times, and what was the lowest point where you were like, I don't know if I can get out of this. Like, what was the lowest point in your life where you're like, I think I've screwed up so much that I can't lift myself from this guy?
Well, it had to be when I was in jail, and I had a new baby. And I was in jail for months for bank robbery. And yeah, I'm doing a documentary. Y'all think you know, but you don't really know.
No, we don't know. Go ahead.
And so I was in Twin Towers Correctional Facility. Here's what's crazy. Now, follow me with this. I did a movie called The Rock. Remember I told you did The Rock?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Part of the interior jail scenes were shot at Twin Towers Correctional Facility when it was just opening. They used to have a jail in LA called Sybil Brand. Sybil Brand was so run down and rat infested and disgusting and horrible. Even they even made an old movie called Sybil Brand with like DeBrat and some people like that. Mm-hmm. So they built a new jail, and it was Twin Towers. Before Twin Towers opened, during the transition from Sybil Brand to Twin Towers, they shot part of The Rock in it. Now I'm in The Rock. So now I'm incarcerated in a jail that I'm in a movie that has that jail in it. Like, go figure that.
Oh, wow.
And I had already been on TV, so the COs knew who I was. And the Campbell, what you doing in here? And I got to jail, and it was like, what's up, Hollywood? Hey, Hollywood.
So
I went through all that.
Just out of curiosity, when you said robbing the bank, was it the Cleo style from Set It Off, or was it the pass the note? Like when you was robbing, like what did you pass the note, or when you came in there guns a blazing? Everybody get down.
I worked at the bank I robbed.
Inside.
I just took the money and went like this. Because I took it out the vault, and you can't be in the vault alone. But if you take your eye off me, you slip it. And I was working at the bank, and I knew this bank was gonna go under. It was Security Pacific Bank. They did go under. They no longer exist. And I knew this bank was gonna go under because I had been working in banks, and I knew they wasn't doing their stuff right. And you work 2 weeks, you get a check for $250. But you're in the vault and you're surrounded by millions of dollars.
Stacks.
Now, did everybody get locked up for the situation, or did somebody get away?
I don't have crime partners. I do my crime alone. So
you was all by your lonely.
By my lonely.
Jesus, Luenell. Oh my God.
Now it says you're a distributor for the Savage.
I didn't get the.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just one more thing. I didn't get to name the original Bad Girl of Comedy for nothing.
Yeah, that didn't have nothing to do with comedy, girl. That had nothing to do with comedy.
No, I was a gangster before I was a comedian. So,
jeez,
I love it.
So the Savage X Fenty Lingerie ambassadorship was appointed to me by the great Rihanna, and I have to post twice a month. We talked about it. I said, yeah, I do it. I want to do it. And then, the contract started coming. I was like, oh, Lord, have mercy. I done wrote a check that my little... hello?
Yeah. Listen, I hear you.
Oh.
You just put your picture up there.
Yeah, we just put the picture. We just put some pictures on there, girl.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the nice ones. But, yeah, I had wrote a check that my literal ass had to cash. And I was like, oh, my God. Lord, okay, well, let me try this on, and
oh
yeah, there you
go. Hey. Hey.
There you go.
Hey. Okay. That particular ass did cash that check right there. That one did cash that one cashed the check, Luenell. Like, that one did cash. That check cleared. That check cleared all day.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay.
And I was fresh off my knee surgery when I did that shoot. I had to still complete my obligation, even though I was, in pain a little bit. So, but I still did my job, you know.
Mm.
You know, what I love about you, first of all, I love the fact you took do rag on. You like F it. It goes down in the D. It don't give a damn. Y'all seen that ass cash that check, damn it. Y'all saw that ass cash that check.
Hey.
Hey. I saw one in the bathtub. You was in the bathtub. Yeah, that one right. See that one right there. See, Luenell, that one right there. That's the type that you might not wear a condom. See, that's the problem right there.
If
You might just roll the dice.
If you could only read my DMs.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing about it, the thing that legitimizes me, there's three things about it. Number one, this isn't for like Fashion Nova, you know.
Nah.
No shame on Fashion Nova and Rainbow. This is for Rihanna.
Yeah.
So that legitimizes it. Period. Number one. If it wasn't for Rihanna, like I wouldn't do it for Lane Bryant or, you know, something like that, but I did for Rihanna. Number two, the check is legit.
Tap on the mic. Tap on the mic.
And number three, just like, you know, I also was a Penthouse centerfold. Yeah,
you were.
I did a 6-page spread for Penthouse.
You
I
did.
didn't bust it open. You know, I got a child. She got a friend. But, you know.
Hold on. She did Penthouse.
I didn't do all that. But it was classy. And the stuff I tried to do, I try to keep it classy. And then it gives women that are my age and women that are curvy and my size and above, gives them a lot of pride to see me doing it, and then they feel like, you know what, I'm gonna get me some lingerie too. Now, truly, I'm a wife beater, no panties type of chick. Let's go.
If I had a gun, Luenell, I would have just shot it right now. I would have just shot it in the air right now, Luenell. If I had 2 guns, I would be like, boom, boom, boom.
My husband don't care about that lingerie. When we got married, you know, I had bought the little, oh Lord, yes.
Wait.
Come here, girl.
Wow.
Yes.
Stop playing with me. I'm in your neck right now, Luenell. Come here, girl. I'm in your neck.
That's my name spray painted on my back. That's not computer generated. It took 3 hours to spray paint that on my back, you know.
Luenell, I'm right by the last L.
Wow.
I'm right by the last L. I'm right by the last L.
Oh my God.
I'm by the last L. No disrespect to the E's. No disrespect to the N. No disrespect to the first L. I'm by the last L right now.
If I had a dime, if I had a dime for everybody who's went to sleep right there. I'd be a very rich woman.
I hate you.
So the women that are my age and my size, they write me and they say, Luenell, you're an inspiration for us. You're so confident and you make me feel some type of way. And I'm going to get me some lingerie too. I think I want to do a shoot like that and da-da-da. So it's been a really great experience, you know. And plus, I needed that bag during the shutdown.
That's real talk. That's real talk. That's real. That's on God. You know, the kids be like, "That's on God. That's on God for real." Like, this bag was necessary. Man, this has been so, like, y'all don't understand. We've had Rodney Perry just come on. We've had Bill Bellamy come on the show, and now we have Luenell. We have talent. We had Talent, the comedian, come on the show. And all these comedians have shown us like this amazing love. So after I lost that bag from the radio station, which is a long story, but the fact that we have you here, and God always has a plan. God always has a plan. None of this happens by coincidence. And I just want to say, what are the last things before because we got to wrap up. What are things that you haven't accomplished that you still, because I know, Luenell, I know the way your brain is like, I got things to do. I got other things to do. What are things that you're like, I got to do this next?
Well, if you follow me on Instagram, which is just at Luenell, Luenell, just like it was on my back a minute ago.
And I might that second L's vicious. Shout out to the second L. Shout out to the second L. That second L is the truth.
If you follow me on Instagram, or if anybody follows me on my Hey Luenell YouTube show, you will know that my main goal right now is to be the next Black female in late night. That is my goal, because they've had, Monique, they've had Robin Thede, they've had Black women in late night,
right?
But they haven't had the right woman in late night, one that would make it stick. Because I also want to be, even though I'm getting up there in age, I want to be a mega comic entertainer, movie star, because there is not one female who is living on the level of any of these men, and it doesn't make sense. There's not a female who has Eddie Murphy movie, female comic. Even Wanda don't have Eddie Murphy movie. There's not a female who has Kevin Hart money. There's, and it doesn't make any sense to me, except for the fact that they don't feel there's a woman who's Tiffany Haddish is making a lot of headway right now in film and television, and producing and doing Netflix specials and working behind the scenes and having charity foundation and all that kind of stuff. So Tiffany has broke through, but it wasn't, if we're going to be 100, it wasn't for her comedic ability. It's for her acting. You see, it's her comedy in acting, and it's for her work that she did in the kitchen, and it's for her Netflix special where she was able to put people on and give them a whole new life. Flame Monroe had been in comedy for years. Flame Monroe is, they call her drag queen. Flame Monroe is one of the hardcore funniest people you'll ever see on stage, period. Nobody was fooling with Flame. Flame struggled for years. Tiffany put Flame on the They Ready Netflix special. Yep. Now Flame is touring, has a deal itself on for radio and on Sirius and all kind of stuff. So, but I definitely want to be the next Black woman in late night. I've trained for it. I used to be on the Soul Beat Television Network in Oakland. I do my YouTube show. It's just me. I haven't had any guests per se. My daughter and Red Grant were the only guests I've had, and that was just by fluke that Red came by. And Corona, I wasn't able to have any guests, so I have the ability to sit and talk for an hour plus with no guests, no bang, bells and whistles, nothing like that. And I know enough people have enough contacts to be able to get a great band and to get wonderful guests and showcase people that haven't had an opportunity. I'm made for late night. I'm made for it. They've had sisters, but they haven't had the right one until they mess with me. So that's my real goal, is to be the next one in late night.
Well, it's been manifested, and anything that comes out your mouth, I know it's going to happen. And Luenell, I don't want to overdo. Go here.
Before we wrap up,
Luenell, before he does this, he don't know how much he pisses me off. Luenell, every time we interview somebody, right? Every time we interview somebody, we will do a whole hour, and I love talking to you. Like Bill Bellamy, love talking to Bill, love talking to Rodney Perry. We do a whole hour every time, and at the end of the conversation, this mother comes up with, "Before you go." She's been here for an hour.
Well, you gotta admit you dominate the interview, Mike.
Yes, it's my show. It's my show.
I mean,
Luenell, don't agitate this dude. That's all he wants.
Thank you.
That's all right, babe. Where he at? That's all right.
I'm right here. So no, I like to try to get to know our guest, Luenell. So I like to just throw
But whoa. But Luenell, this is what he does. This is what he does.
Let him do it. Be quiet.
Hold up. But this is what he does. He writes 3 things.
Come on, baby. Come on, honey.
He writes 3 things and he waits to the end. He's so lazy. I would let him talk all the time.
He's not lazy. He's patient.
I'm patient.
Nobody can tell Mike Shawn. I know you don't do drugs, but nobody can tell that you don't.
Impatient. Hyper. He's hyper.
Wow, stop. I did stop.
Okay,
I mean,
what's up, baby?
You know, it is a ton of things we could have talked about, which still, I know you're on the #1 Netflix show, by the way. Shout out to you for that, Dad.
Hey, Luenell, what's your sign? What's your sign, Luenell? Are you a Scorpio? I'm playing.
So,
you a Gemini? Are you a Gemini?
Cut me off.
I'm a Pisces. Now shut up. Go ahead.
I'm a Pisces too. I'm March 2nd. I'm a Pisces too. I'm a Pisces. See? Go ahead, Jay Black. Go ahead.
So to get to know Luenell, I'm gonna throw some things at you. You got to pick one or the other. It's like a little.
We ain't get to know her for the last hour. We ain't get to know her for the last hour.
Know her a little deeper. I know her a little deeper.
Thank you, baby.
She talked about being in jail and drug abuse. You gonna go? Okay, all right. Go ahead. My bad.
Example would be if cats or dogs, and then you would pick which one that you're into. So I'm gonna throw a couple. Actually, I want to do a couple comedians first. Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock. You got to pick one.
Chappelle.
Cat Williams or Kevin Hart.
Cat.
Cedric the Entertainer or Steve Harvey.
Cedric.
Amy Schumer or Wanda Sykes.
Wanda.
Monique or Samora. I got one. Yeah.
I don't know if you got one or somebody owe her money.
I'm gonna have to ride with Monique on that one.
Okay.
Riding with Monique. All right. I'm gonna keep going. Tracy Morgan or Mike Epps.
Tracy.
Here we go. Now I'm gonna switch up. Target or Walmart.
Target. They'd be too ratchet in Walmart.
That's real tough. They'd be so hood in Walmart. I swear a DJ gonna be in that bitch.
Okay, what else?
Two more. Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy?
Wheel of Fortune.
All right, last one. This is the one I like to end with. Nasty sex or making love?
Nasty sex.
Yeah,
I should have known that. I should have known based off those pictures.
We can start out making love, but then we need to end with the nasty sex.
You in the food? You in the messy food?
Yeah. Like crab, you can't eat crab daintily.
Oh yeah, messy food. Yeah, I get it.
I was talking about
oxtails, neck bones. You have to suck them. Suck them.
All right.
Right now, if you don't stop right now.
They know what I'm talking about. Who's that over there on the right?
That's Cam. That's DJ.
Look, you know about them. If you go over a woman's house and she made you neck bones or oxtails, she's trying to suck your penis. Because you can't cut the meat off of that. You gotta suck it. And no woman have no business eating no oxtails or no neck bones on no date. That's free sex. That's foreplay.
That's the sound. That's the sound.
And the next time y'all eat oxtails and neck bones, I want you to think of Luenell.
Yo, after all this, I want that to be the promo. When we do the promo for this, I want her to say, if a woman is eating oxtails, she want to suck your penis.
She sure does.
Oh, Luenell, thank you so much. I thank you for blessing us with spending so much time with us today. I wish you every blessing that you deserve. The late night talk show, everything. I wish you everything because you have no idea how much this means to this show to have you on here this morning.
Well, you know, if I hadn't have popped on, you would have never contacted me to be on the show because the afterthought thing, remember? He loved me, but he didn't think about having me on the show. Rodney and me in the same doggone movie. And
No.
you didn't think about me. Shut up.
No. Luenell, no. Hold up. Let me tell you. I didn't got.
Touch of the hand.
They put the whole hand on the screen. Don't put the hands on the screen, Luenell. No. Honestly, I didn't even reach out to Rodney. It happened the same way. I was on Instagram Live, and Jay Black keeps telling me that I'm a punk because I don't reach out to these people because I honestly feel like I'm bothering people.
Well, you are, but it's okay.
Real tough.
So I just want to make sure once again that people know my Instagram is at Luenell, at Luenell, and that my YouTube show is called Hey Luenell, HeyLuenell on YouTube. You can catch me on the first episode of Jamie Foxx's Dad Stop Embarrassing Me. Netflix is still running Coming to America, which I'm very proud to be in. Amazon Prime is still running Dolomite Is My Name, and the Rihanna's Savage X Fenty fashion show. And you can look for me in HBO Max's upcoming show called Hacks. It's about comedy, actually, with Gene Smart is the star of that. And just keep, if you're a praying person out there, pray for me. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see me doing a prayer about getting my late night show. The Lord that I serve answers prayers, so look out for me on late night, and I'll be back in the clubs starting in Tempe, Arizona, the weekend after Mother's Day in May, at the Tempe Improv. And you can just keep up with me on Instagram. You'll know the dates. My Fresh Out of Favors comedy tour. Don't ask me for nothing.
We didn't even get to the Coming to America. Jesus, my God. We didn't even come to the most legendary movie that came out this. Okay. You gotta go. Are you out?
No.
What the hell was that?
Gotta go.
What was the set like on Coming to America? What was the set like?
It was the most prideful Black movie making happy experience I've ever had in my entire career of making films. Just in this one scene alone, we had 8 comics. We had Rodney Perry, Nav Green, Leslie Jones, myself, Tracy Morgan, Jermaine Fowler, Arsenio Hall, and Eddie Murphy. What? And
that's dope.
We were filming on Tyler Perry's studio in Atlanta. So every day I was able to come to work and go past the Sidney Poitier soundstage, the Ossie Davis and Ruby Dee soundstage, the Halle Berry soundstage, Will Smith, Oprah Winfrey, Whoopi Goldberg. I was able to go to work and see all that Black royalty, and even worked with the most famous wardrobe mistress in Black history, Ruth Carter, who did all the wardrobe for Black Panther 1. Dolomite Is My Name, Coming to America, and she's now working on Black Panther 2. She's the first Black woman to win the Oscar. She also has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And, it was the extras were happy to be there. Everybody was happy that I've never made a movie where I knew I was making history, but I knew I was making history with Coming to America too. And for any of the haters out there, oh, it's not the same, blah, 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 blah. We are so happy with it that we don't even care. This is one time where none of the haters can touch any of us. As you jealous, you mad because you're not up in it now.
Do now. All right. That woman right there.
Yeah, it was a wonderful, 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 funny, hilarious, amazing experience, and nobody can take that away from us. Eddie had a daughter in the film, his daughter Bella. My daughter danced behind Tiana Taylor with the flute. She's in the film. Wesley Snipes had his kids in the film. People don't know because they were young. You can't tell you can't rain on my parade about that film. My grandchildren will be able to see me in that film. You feel me? And I don't even have none yet. So you can call me Auntie on Instagram, but don't call me Grandma. I'll block you.
right. Now don't ignore my DMs because I'm going to be DMing you and I'm going to take that picture and I'm going to keep that second L close to my heart late at night before I go to sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, please clap it up for Luenell. Luenell! Oh man!
Michael, Shawn, and the Takeover Legends. Your escape from reality. Right here on Free Agent Radio.